Good evening. This is Ronnie G with Truth Work Youth Outreach Incorporated. I'm coming to you this evening because, I sit around like I'm retired now. Most of the time I do just sit around and think about life and think about what's going on in America and to think about how people just go around lying on minorities, black and brown people, just lying on them, like they so bad. Show me one country that, since we've been brought here to America, I'm talking about black people, that we invaded, that we took over to take their oil or to take their diamonds or to take their rare mineral rights. Or what country is Mexicans that came to America that went out and took over, that ever tried to take over the United States? Just tell me. Talk to me like I'm a fool. That's the way I want you to talk to me. Talk to me like I'm a fool. Joe Biden lost the election and Kamala Harris tried to finish it up for him. He couldn't win, right? So what was the evil thing that Joe Biden did? What was the evil thing that Kamala Harris did? I can tell you what the evil people did. They stormed the Capitol on January 6th. They defrauded cities out of millions and millions of dollars. They did everything that the devil would do. And the reason that Kamala Harris didn't win, because people didn't want a woman, right? Especially a black woman. Not even black people wanted her. Because that's how they've been conditioned over the years. That's what you call a slave mentality. You're not really a slave, but you got the same mentality as a slave. Like, yes, sir, master. Yes, sir. Go here, or you go there, and you don't do this, and you don't do that. That's what we call a slave mentality. Let me tell you what a slave mentality do for you. How a slave mentality destroy you. And not only do it destroy you, it destroyed the whole country. Because that slave mentality in a black person or a brown person, that's a person that think they white. No, they don't think they white like skin color. They think they got the same rights and privileges that everyone else have. But they really don't have. But they think they got it. Now when Joe Biden, they were talking about inflation, they were talking about the price of eggs and all that. Even though Joe Biden and Kamala Harris gave more jobs, more increase in income for minorities and Hispanic than any president in history. But that Uncle Tom, you can't tell that Uncle Tom nothing. A minority can't tell a Uncle Tom nothing. Because they think they know everything. Because they believe that the white people love them. Some whites do love them. There's some whites that's for justice. We talking about that radical MAGA ones, the white nationals. Now, let me show you the reason they threw Joe Biden out of office and Kamala Harris, the reason that they giving it's a lie. It's not only a lie. It's the biggest lie I ever seen. How can you convince a race of people like Hispanics and blacks and Cubans and Asian Americans? How can you convince them that the President of the United States, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, ain't doing nothing for you when you know it's facts? You got a smartphone right there in your hand that you can Google however you want to check it, and you will see that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did more for minorities than any president in history, even more than Barack Obama, which is black. Joe Biden did more for minorities for his job and position in federal government cabinets. Joe Biden did more for us than Barack Obama. But not with them Uncle Toms, like Clarence Thomas and Ben Carson and Herschel Walker. Oh no, not to them Uncle Tom. Everything that we saying, even though Clarence Thomas know the facts, Herschel Walker know the facts, Ben Carson know the facts, and Byron Donaldson know he, man, they all know the facts. Now, let me give you some information that'll let you know how the big lie was told and the ignorant America. Yes, 70 million people, over 70 million people voted for Donald Trump. Some of them got master's degree, some of them got PhD, some of them got bachelor. So you know they ain't stupid. They just racist. Not only if they racist, they racist as hell. They willing to destroy the country because they look like a fool. The Mexicans that voted for Trump, they wouldn't destroy the country and destroy their people and put them in alligator Alcatraz down there in Florida. Just think about this. They estimate the figure that Donald Trump and them spent on alligator Alcatraz, a tent, basically a fence with a top on it, with that tent material over the top. They estimate that Donald Trump and them spent our tax dollars over $400 million that they paid for a tent. You know good and well, ain't nobody paid no $400 million for no tent. Now, ask yourself this. You can't pay Medicaid. You can't give free lunches no more. So the Medicaid is going to help pay for elderly people that's low income to put them in nursing homes. So you can't pay that. You want to shut down the Department of Education. You want to gut NOAA. That's how come all the people is dead down there in Texas now. Because when Donald Trump came to office, he gutted NOAA. So those people that looking out for you with the weather, they're supposed to be 24/7. They're only part-time now. Because Donald Trump wanted to take all the money and give it to the multi-millionaires and the multi-billionaires. That's what he wanted to do, right? So you didn't have no money, and when no bill passed, ever since Donald Trump been president, they ain't passed no bill to fund these things, right? So if Donald Trump spent $400 million to build alligator Alcatraz, where did he get the $400 million from? How did he get it? He stole it from FEMA. He stole it from Noah. See, that's why they wanted to pass this bill so bad. Because in that bill is $45 billion for the build a concentration camp. See, that's why the Republic, they was gonna pass that bill if they had to die. Because Donald Trump already messed off all of FEMA money. He done messed it up down there in Alligator Alley. The last time I checked, Donald Trump had spent over $26 million almost every weekend going to his golf course. Isn't that something? Old people that need to be in nursing home and kids that need food and poor people that need Medicaid, Donald Trump can go to his resorts almost every weekend, and the last time I checked, he had spent over $26 million. They said by the time Donald Trump leave office, at the pace that he going right now, he gonna be spent over $1 billion in 4 years. Just to go play golf. And he just sitting up there laughing in our ignorant face. Ain't that something? $45 million to build concentration camps for people that was working and paying taxes. Everybody know, if you working for Tyson Food, whether you legal or illegal, Tyson Food is gonna cut taxes out of your paycheck. But the illegal Mexican, they can't get no tax return at the end of the year. They can't get no money back from the state. They lose all that benefit, but they paying it. And our politicians, like the radical right, the MAGA, Senate and House Representatives, and the Supreme Court, they all are just spending that money that the Mexican can't use and can't get. But the Mexican is paying taxes. I bet you my life that Mexican is paying taxes. And you a liar. You MAGA, you a liar. You made fool those ignorant rednecks that didn't go to school and don't want to learn nothing about the government. But you ain't gonna fool Ronnie G. See, I make it my bit. Come on, well, the new people ain't right. You can't believe everybody. Listen, C-SPAN and C-SPAN 2, they don't have no commercials. Whenever the Senate is in session, you can go to C-SPAN and you can see it live. They got cameras in the Senate chamber and in the House chamber. They got cameras there. So when they debating the bill, say Senator Lindsey Graham is talking. I'm going to hear Lindsey Graham talk and tell his lies myself. And I'm going to make a decision on whether I want to believe Lindsey Graham or not. I don't need Laura Ingraham or Sean Hannity to tell me what Lindsey Graham said or interpret for me what Lindsey Graham said. When I can look at Lindsey Graham to myself, the taxpayers pay for C-SPAN 1 and C-SPAN 2. You just don't want to hear it. You want and prefer for someone to lie to you. Donald Trump spent $45 to $50 million on a parade for his birthday. He trying to act like it was for the 250th anniversary of the military, but it was for Donald Trump. It was for his birthday party. Once again, you let a no good man, you let an evil man spend almost $50 million on a bomb parade. How many of you can get we ain't got no money. All all that money that he's spending, it got to be borrowed. We already running a $36 trillion deficit. Everything that Trump is spending, alligator Alcatraz, the $50 million parade, the $45 million for ICE and the concentration camp, the $35 million, it's $75 million in this big beautiful bill. $75 million for ICE and for building concentration camp for some American citizen. But when Biden was in office, you didn't have nothing to spend. Man is so evil. It's just unbelievable. The Bible tells us that we don't have to tolerate evil. We don't. Christian people, you don't have to tolerate evil. We are supposed to resist evil. See, that big beautiful bill should have been stopped by Christian people. Church people should have been all over the street. Church people should have been singing hymns and doing all that stuff, knowing how they get ready to screw the elderly people. We're not talking about lazy elderly people. We're talking about people that worked all their life. And now they're retired. And their family is poor. And they're on Social Security, SSI, a disability. And the family is not able to take care of them no more. So they got to put them in a nursing home. That's what Medicaid do. It's going to pay for that person to go to the nursing home. And then if that person got any kind of property, like a house or land, the nursing home is going to take all the property and sell it. And then when there's no more money left, then the federal government is going to pay. So in order for you to go to the nursing home when you're poor, you got to lose everything you own. If you got a little land, couple acre land, gone. If you got a house or a trailer, gone. And then those radical Republicans is up there making millions of dollars off the poor. Millions of dollars off the hungry. Millions of dollars over the downtrodden. I always talk about Elon Musk got one yacht that's worth $700 million. Bill Gates has got a yacht worth $1.5 billion. Can you believe it? Jeff Bezos just got married, and he took all his friends and people to Paris, and he spent $50 million. That's who Donald Trump cut the money to Medicaid for. That's what he did it for. That's what he cut the money to free lunches for. That's what he did it for. Can you believe that? These rich folks, they got over $1 billion just for a yacht. They got more money than they can ever spend in their lifetime, in 10 lifetimes. But they don't care nothing about us. They don't care nothing about us. Because they want slaves. They want people to mop their floor and clean their kitchen. And to manicure their grass. That's what Donald Trump just did. Laughing in your face. And there's people just sucking it all up. That's incredible. I didn't know that people could be that evil. I know Satan and his angels are evil. But I didn't think that somebody that wanted to be president of the United States, I didn't think that somebody was going to be in the House of Representatives or in the Senate or a Supreme Court justice. I didn't think that they would just take our money. I think the Supreme Court judges get paid like over $400,000 a year. A United States Senator in the House of Representatives get paid $173,000 a year, and the majority leader in the Senate and the Speaker of the House get like $203,000. We are the one that's paying them, and they the one that's stumping us in the mud. They're the one that putting their foot around their neck, and they cutting benefit so they can give to the super wealthy, so they can go out and buy maybe a $2 billion yacht. Don't be fooled by these lying people. You know why I can come on this social media site and talk like this and don't have to worry about somebody suing me? Because it's the truth. See, in this country, we got a freedom of speech. As long as our speech is truthful, as long as our speech is honest, then we okay. See, you got to be able to tell the truth, and ain't nothing nobody can do. They may try to kill you or something, or try to get you in prison or something, but you can't go into no court and get a case because I'm telling the truth. Everything I'm saying, I don't care if you mad or not, you know what I'm saying is the truth. Otherwise, Facebook or YouTube be snatching me off of here. See, they check me. Every time I go a little bit over the line. Just the other day, I had did a broadcast, and I uploaded to YouTube. But when I uploaded it wouldn't save to YouTube. It wouldn't save. So I did it like 3 or 4 times, and it still wouldn't save to YouTube. Finally, about 2 hours later, YouTube come on, and they text me, and they tell me what the delay was. They said they had to go through my video, and they said that some things I said in the video, they said it wasn't appropriate for kids. So once they put up the disclaimer that this is not for kids, then they let my video went through. See, that's the way it is. If you see me live, then you know that Facebook have already checked out what I'm saying. And Facebook have already decided what I'm saying is in my constitutional rights. I don't know why people don't want to stand up for their constitutional rights. I don't know why people just don't stand up for freedom. Why don't you go back to the 1600s and take my place? Why don't you go back to 1690 and become a nigger? And then I want you to come up through the generation, over 400 years. I want you to come up through the generation raising your kids as a nigger. And I want you, at the end of that 400 years, tell me how you feel with your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids being a nigger. Tell me how you feel about that with no respect, with no rights, with no freedom of speech, with no right to bear arms, with no right to vote for the things that you want in your country. I dare you to try it. See, can you do it? That's why I tell you, there's no way I'm going to sit back And let us go back to the 1700s or the 1600s without dying first. There ain't no way I'm gonna want to leave my kids worse off than my grandparents and great-grandparents was. There's no way I'm gonna leave my daughter with less freedom than their great-great-grandparents didn't have. Why don't you try it? If you so tough and you so bad, just 20 of you go back the same way you brought 20 African Americans. Just go back to 1619 with 20 of you. And you got to go up against us for the next 400 years. Let's see how you fare. I don't think you'll do that well because you're weak. You always want other people to do stuff for you. And then you want to take credit for it. I dare you to take me up on my offer. God is the one that brought us through. God is the one that carried us when we couldn't carry ourselves. God is the one that supplied food. God is the one that put people in place to help us out. I'm talking about good white folks that helped us out. Some of them died helping us out. And every time I get on the video, I thank them. I thank them what they did for my forefather, my father, and my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather. I thank them for what they did. I thank the white people in California that gave me jobs that I didn't even deserve. I thank them for that. And I'll thank them until the day I die. We couldn't have got to where we are now without some good white people helping us out. See how we can acknowledge that? Even though we was in slavery and it was the white people that enslaved us, we still could tell the good people from the bad people, no matter what race you are. But see, white people just don't got it. Those prejudiced white people raised their kids up for over 400 years to hate people just because of the color of their skin. Black people don't think that way. Whenever you go through all the trials and the tribulation that black people and brown people went through, we understand that God don't have no respect for person. If God will do it for you, he'll do it for me, and he'll do it for everybody else. See, that's what love is all about. That's what love and mercy and joy and long suffering and meekness. It means that you just don't try to destroy somebody just because of the color of their skin or their educational level or how they look. You judge people like Martin Luther King by the content of their character. I don't care what color, what race you are. If you got good character, I'm with you. If you got love and joy and long suffering in your heart, I'm with you. If you accept God in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, I'm with you. If you let Jesus lead you and guide you in the way that you should go, I'm with you no matter what color you are. I'm with you. But what's wrong with these crazy white folks? that think they're better than somebody else. You're not better, and you ain't worse either. We all equal under God. We all just need to come together to save this great country before it fall apart. I wasn't going to talk long. Whenever I sit and think, and God puts something in my mind, and I'm just sitting here, I get up and I turn on my phone, and I tell you these things fresh in my heart as soon as they drop down in my soul. That way I won't forget them. So I'm not talking long. So may the Lord watch between me and thee while we ask him one from another. I love you all. Until we meet again. I'll talk to you later, and I love you. And I appreciate you supporting me. You just don't know how it makes me feel. I feel like we have a chance. I feel like we have a chance to turn this thing around. To save the greatest democracy that ever been existing on the earth. Don't let our freedom of religion and freedom of speech, our freedom to assemble, our freedom to petition our government, don't let this slip through our hand into anarchy and a whole bunch of bloodshed. Until we meet again, bye-bye.